I am Blake from Indiana. I work in migrant education. A lot of my students actually come from Texas and Florida. They migrate up for work, and then typically planting season, and then they will come back around harvest season and leave in October. So a lot of missed schooling, and so we have to have a lot of initiatives to engage one and to get them to come, because are really known for our summer schools. And so we try to use unique tools, unique opportunities to teach them things. So today we'll be talking about Google Add-ons. If you want access to the slides, the slide deck is right there. Feel free to grab that. If you want to scan it, write the link down. They are case sensitive, so that is a capital L, but basically goo.gl/HF5 capital LQT. Feel free to ask questions throughout. I want to make sure you get this, and we're going to talk about our 7 add-ons here. So, hello. So the first one is Choice Eliminator 2. For those of you as we go through this, the bottom right corner will determine which Google app we'll be leveraging. So for this one, it's going to be Google Forms. And what Choice Eliminator 2 will do is actually give us choices. So in the survey, for instance, if in Google Form, we hit the add-on button and select it, and what it will do is responses that are multiple choice, some true, false, some other types of things, it'll allow us to narrow that bridge. So if I'm doing a sign up and I'm having people bring snacks, for example, but I only want 2 cases of lemonade and I want 1 bag of chips, basically in my choice eliminator, I select a question and I say eliminate choices. So when I get to that part, here we have our multiple choice question, I can select the limit. So once I hit my limits, no one else can sign up for that, so it will automatically disappear from your selection as a responder, okay? So really cool, so we don't have lots of different things showing up, or if we're doing parent conference times, the parent conference time will disappear, okay? So good way to sign up, have people sign up, and not having to email 6 people that chose the same time, right? So the next one is Autocrat. If you do any type of badging, any type of certificates, basically what we're using is Google Sheets and documents, okay? So I could use a form, for example. If someone came to a session, I had them sign up, or in my classroom, what have you, right? And so all I do is go to Google Doc, I change the page view, all I did was type this information in, I found a picture, I pasted it right there. Now, a couple things you'll notice here. Where there are little carrots, okay, those carrots are there for a reason, because it represents basically a data field. That data field is the title. So in my sheet, we will see date, we will see hours, and we'll see session, last name, first name. And all I did was change the text size right there. So I just typed it in, hit the caret right beside our arrow bar. And when I come into my sheet, you'll see it's right here, okay? Then all I do is hit go on Autocrat, and it automatically will generate that document for me. If they typed in their email, if I wanted to leverage that, I could. It would actually email that certificate individually as a PDF to that person. Sometimes that's not necessary, right? Because we're creating certificates for our kids. So it'll just create an individual certificate stored in our drive that I can then print off and give to them at the end of the year. Okay, so really cool with Autocrat, and this is kind of the end result of taking that, hitting it in very little work. Okay, not very technical. Text help study skills is another cool one. So basically, I'm taking a Google Doc, okay, and I'm able to highlight it. And I have different options of how I can label these. So I can determine or give structure to, okay, yellow will mean this. And anytime you see a sentence that represents whatever topic, highlight it green, okay? And so we can change those throughout. The kids can change those. The cool thing about that is that when I'm done, I can say, okay, I want all of the highlighted pieces of this document all in one document. And I can do it by color, so I can see what I've highlighted, okay? It also is a link to the full document, okay? And then I can also make notes on there as well. So students can highlight, you as well could highlight, so talking about study guides, things like that, kids could have and share is really kind of cool. better word count. I don't know how many times where we have to submit something that you can only have so many words, grants, what have you, right? And the word count at the bottom just doesn't do it justice. The better word count will actually, based on what I highlight, will give me the exact amount of words, okay? So it'll do all characters, and it will do characters without spaces as well. So depending on how that document or how that grant is laid out, you have all that information within that Google Doc, okay? So really cool. Lucid chart, do you do any diagrams? Any diagramming? How about Venn diagrams in class? So this allows you to actually, one, you can create all of these different charts that are laid out for you. So kids can use text, they can bring them together, and you can do all the things that you used to do on paper. But the cool thing is that when you hit this add-on as well, is that you can bring all of those charts in here. So here's a list of all my charts I've created. I can bring those directly into my Google document. So I can have students having relationship of what they've created here and converting that into text for me. So it can be an application that I can grade, an assessment that I can bring in. It's also something that I could share out. So if I'm collecting data based on my NWEA scores, I can bring it in here. I can create a nice little graph, and then I can also write the information needed to justify why they are the way they are, okay? Here is one example with it automatically added into the document. Basically, it was a dichotomous key that you go through step by step, yes, no, and then there's other links embedded in there. So as you can see in here, there is a link that would give them more information if they didn't know, okay? And it's throughout the whole chart. So really cool chart. If any math teachers right here? Anybody do math, maybe? No? Okay. Well, GMath, if you ever get there, creating expressions in Google Docs is hard. So with the GMath for Forms, you can actually create a text form editor. So students have those math available to them. So if you come across someone who does teach math, probably a good one. We're not going to spend a lot of time on there. And then Flippity. Flippity is a really cool one I actually have just started playing with. But basically, it uses your Google Sheet, and you can create all of these different things within it. So we have flashcards. We also have our Jeopardy games, okay? If we have students, we want like random student selectors. So I can have random name pickers here, okay? But also if we dig in here, if you see, not only is it a random name picker, but let's say I have all these kids in my sheet, and I'm like, okay, I need groups of 3. It'll randomly place these kids in groups of 3. Same thing, groups of 5. I can put them in 2 teams, 3 teams, whatever. Automatically does that based on my my list that I have in my Google Sheet, okay? A lot of other cool things here. For example, the group of 3, boom, automatically does it right there. You just show it on your screen if you have access to do that. And these are a list of the things that actually I just took directly from their site. So you can create a lot of cool things, very easy to do, and save those games, save those resources. But also the cool thing is not from the standpoint of you create everything, is the standpoint of like, okay, how can they leverage this, right? So instead of us being the sage on the stage, how can we leverage them to prove their learning through some of those add-ons right there, right? So that's the Flippity add-on. The cool thing is it has a demo, so it'll do a video of how it works, but also has instructions on how to do it and gives you the template that you can edit and customize yourself, okay? So that's the Flippity add-on, which is really awesome. Definitely go there and check it out. Again, slides are there. I'm welcome to take any questions or go back through there if you want.